Hello everyone, I'm back with another video, and in today's video we have a Dell laptop. This is a Dell Inspiron 13. The exact model is a 5310 that can be found in the BIOS, which it says right over here. I don't know if you guys can see it, if focusing. Inspiron 13 5310. And in this video, I'm going to take you on a step-by-step how to open it up and how you can clean the fan system and repaste the heatsink and the CPU. And this applies for any 13 5000 series. Doesn't have to be exactly the same. It can be Dell Inspiron 13, 550, 5410, or whatever other model is, as long as it's a 5000 series. It's an 11 Gen iCore 5, and it does come with an 8 gig onboard RAM. All right, so we're gonna first power it off. Don't worry about backing up your files or changing anything in the system. Everything's gonna be left the way you had it before. Just remember, when you disconnect the batteries and you power on, it might take up to 1 minute for it to boot, so that's normal. So first thing first, power it off. Then you want to flip it upside down, and we're gonna grab ourselves the tools. All the tools that I'm gonna be using will be linked in the video description in case you want to purchase yours. All right, tool number one, a good screwdriver set. I'll recommend you guys the iFixit screwdriver set, as they have one of the best screwdrivers out there. I purchased myself this basic tool set. For the opening tools, we're going to be using a guitar pick. A metallic guitar picks are suitable to opening cases and covers. Next, a very important one is an alcohol, isopropylic or isopropylic alcohol, 98, 99%. Don't get anything under that. These are not conductive. And the next important one is a workshop towel. One sheet of the workshop towel. People always say, can I use the microfiber towels and stuff like that? I always say no. The reason is, for the workshop towel, as soon as you put an alcohol on top and you try to clean the motherboard, this towel will get ripped apart and will prevent damage on the components. Unlike the microfiber towels, they can get tangled around the capacitors and they can damage them. Also, for the thermal paste, I'll be using Arctic MX4. You can go overboard, overkill with thermal grizzly, or if you want it, go ahead and you can buy a PTM paste if you want to, but that's really not necessary because you can open it once every year. Just replace thermal paste. This will last up to 3 years, no problem. We have done it for our client. It maintains the temperatures perfectly fine. All right, so the thermal paste, your choice. I would recommend Thermal Grizzly or Arctic MX4, or if you want a little better, go with an MX6. All right, with all this on hand, we're gonna get it started. First thing first, we're gonna remove all the screws on the bottom cover except the corner ones. We're gonna leave this for the end. I'll let you guys know why. The one in the back mid, and the side, and the one in the corner front. All the screws are the same size and height, so don't worry about mix matching them. Go ahead and remove them. Also, if you guys like my videos, if you find my videos helpful and helping you guys out, you can support the channel by clicking the like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. It helps and motivates me to make more videos, take requests, and answer your questions in the comment area. Appreciate that. All right, now that we removed the screws in here and the one in the middle, we left with these two. These two screws, they have something called a C-lock. The C-lock will prevent the screw from coming out entirely. So, and it serves another purpose. As soon as I rotate, it will push the cover away from itself. Just watch. You see, it's pushing it up and it's just helping you to unhook it. Just rotate until you hear a few clicks, and then you want to let go. Now, simply what you want to do in here, grab the opening tool, guitar pick, place it in here between the cover, about 1 or 2 millimeters. You don't have to stick the whole guitar pick in there. 1 or 2 millimeters, and just want to fly it out. You want to go in the back corner in here. Go to the other corner. Don't push it down, otherwise the clamps are getting locked in. Or you can do the front end if you want. All right. Now what you're gonna do, you wanna grab it from the corners, and you wanna yank it up a little bit gently, and it will come out pretty easy. There we go. So there's the bottom cover. Grab a little toothbrush to clean up the vent. You can even wash this part. There's nothing electronic, and let it for dry. And down here we can see 2 fans, 1 heat sink, 2 heat pipes, and there's no GPU. If you have a GPU version, there should be a GPU over here. All right, before we do anything, we're going to disconnect the battery. We're going to pull this plastic up backward, and we're going to pull this plastic towards the battery straight. I don't have enough space in there, but yeah. So you want to put your fingers on the side of this clips and pull it towards yourself. I'm going to put this cable, bend it this way. All right, now we can see the fans and the heatsink. If you just want to clean up the heatsink without removing the paste or lift it up, you can simply remove 2 screws on each fan, one right there and one right over here on this side. These are Phillips 1, so grab a Phillips screw bit number 1 and 2 screws on the other side, on the other fan. Now, you want to grab yourself a pair of tweezers. And I don't like yanking on this fragile speaker cable. So what I do, I'll put my tweezers on the side or your fingernails and push this jack backwards. So that way I can pull it out without damaging the cables. Same thing in here. This one is a little different jack. It is smaller. So pull it out and lift it up the fan. Fan 1 and the other fan, both of them. So you can take it outside, use a toothbrush, clean it, blow some air through here, and make sure you don't wash it. Just clean up with a dry toothbrush and blow some compressed air. All right. And down here we can see a little clogged up. You might have a horrible dust buildup in there. You want to clean it up. You can use a toothbrush again to brush through here and blow some air and clean up the board. That's as far as you go if you want to clean up the fans and the heatsink without repasting. But if you want to repaste, you want to remove 4 screws on the heatsink. The screws do have a little C-lock on them. So you just want to rotate until you hear the click sounds. There we go. Simply just grab out the heatsink and bring it up and towards yourself. And there's a little, this gaffer's tapes. You want to lift up this gaffer's tape here and pull it out. So there you have your thermal paste. Now we're going to grab 1 sheet of the workshop top little corner of it, and we're going to soak it in an alcohol. And we're going to wipe over this, just like this. And we're going to grab it, put your 2 fingers at the back so you don't force the piping and bending. So you don't want to bend it. You just want to clean up this. Do not replace the thermal pad. If you want to replace it, this is a 0.5 millimeters, 0.5, and 3 millimeter thermal pads in here. But you don't need to replace them. They're fine. You don't get any performance or anything out of it. And clean up the board. I'm going to take these 2 fans outside and clean up. I'm going to blow some air through here and I'll be back. All right. There we go. Now I cleaned up the fan. Now it's nice and clean. So what we're going to do, we're going to put the thermal paste. This is the main die. The bigger one is the CPU die. The second one is called a PCS chip. In a different model, the PCS chip will be in a different location with a separate heatsink, but in this model, they do come chipped in the same chipset. So we're going to put 1 line on the main die and tiny line or drop in the secondary die. Next, what you want to do, you want to grab the heatsink. You want to bring it down in 45-degree angle under the cable in here. And you want to set it down. And you want to cross screw these screws. So it will help evenly spread the thermal paste over the crystal die of the CPU. I do get some people say that, oh, when I remove the heatsink, I unplug this cable over here. So don't worry, sometimes this cable, to plug it back in, there has a little latch. You lift it up, you put the cable on and close the latch right on top. This cable goes under the heatsink. Sometimes do get attached to the with the heat to the heatsink. So pretty much you just have to plug it back in. It's not a big deal. If this one is not sticking, don't worry about it. Just a gaffer's tape. Grab the fan for the right side, put it on. Before I put the fan in, I'd like to put the cable in so it gives me enough room to move around here and push the cable in. and put the fan in place. Same thing in here. I'll slide the cable right into the jack, evenly straight. Always make sure you put the cable straight in. Sit down the fan. Put the 2 screws on each fan that you removed. There we go. Now we're going to tangle back the battery connector in here, and we're going to slide it inside the connector evenly straight in. Just push it in there, and it goes in, and just put it down. And there we have it. Next, what you want to do, grab the bottom cover and put it on top. Put the corner first. Push down the front end. Make sure you do nice big click sound. The back, don't push the corners yet. Push the sides. And then you want to twist the corner screws. These are, again, Phillips 0. And it's going to pull the cover to itself. And if you see any gaps opening, and you want to just pinch them together, and it will go to its place. So let's see if there's any gap opening here. I see a gap opening in there. So there we go. One click. I don't see anything in the front. There we have it. And to finish it off is to put the bottom screw and power it on. And it might take a few seconds for it to power on, up to 1 minute. I'm going to power it on right after I put the screws. So if you want to keep watching. Again, I hope you guys like this video and helps you guys out to do your own service and repair for your DELL Inspiron 13 5000 model. If you have any question or request, feel free to leave them in a video comment. I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. And let's go ahead and power it on. And I'll tap F2 to go to the BIOS so I can make sure that everything is working fine. So I see I still don't get anything on the screen. So I'll power it on again. There we go. So I keep tapping on F2. And it's preparing to go to BIOS. The keyboard is really filthy. Has a lot of crumbs on it. And there we have it. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.